Okay, we rolling. We're doing Streets of Rage 2. Um, what do you call it? On the Sega Genesis. This is hardest difficulty. 3 lives. 1 credit clear. You can't even really say it ain't 1 credit clear. I mean, I actually had to use it 2 continues. But my wife is here, and I mean, she's on one tonight, guys. Just to be forewarned.
I'm in rare form tonight, guys.
Yeah, she's feeling herself. So I brought her on.
That's what you did.
Oh my god. So, fuck. Yeah, I fucking put my foot in. I need her here though. Look.
He does this all the time. He puts his foot in it, and then he expects me not to rise to the occasion. I'm like, if you're gonna put it out there, if you're gonna open the door, expect me to walk through it.
Hey, you know what? This ain't about the foot and the expectation. This is about Streets of Rage. And look, the game just started, and you could see me turn around right when it starts and pick up a 1-up. And my lives are 4 now. And we are going to talk about video game a little bit. So what it is there's 3 hidden extra lives in this game. And the first one is right there. And right when you start the game, you just turn around and you attack and you'll pick up a 1-up. And then there's another one. Where's the other one? Fuck, my brain just failed me. Oh yeah. When there's like a semi truck right after you beat up like the karate dude in the semi truck and you come out, there's one on the top. And then when you fight that like H.R. Geiger alien neck thing, after you beat him at the bottom, there's another one. I'll point them out. We're gonna talk strats here, but I mean,
I'm gonna talk shit.
Oh, I need her to talk shit, guys, because this playthrough, guys. Did I tell you how long this playthrough is?
Yes, 1.5 hours.
It's 1 hour and 20 minutes, my dudes. This ain't no speed run. This game's deep, and I couldn't believe how deep this game is when I got started on it. Do you like fucking deep games? Is that why you're cackling right now? She's like a teenager over here.
I am. I'm a 14-year-old male in my head. Games go really deep here.
This game goes deep. Not all games go deep. Some games are wimpy.
Does that mean Smolder?
I don't know about the size. I don't even want to talk about penises. I want to talk about Streets of Rage.
Why wasn't this guy in the movie?
What movie?
Streets of Fire.
Oh. Have you guys seen Streets of Fire? It's kind of the movie to Streets of Rage. It's about like a dude, and he's living in like a New York City that ain't really New York. Kind of like how in Streets of Rage, like you're like a tough 80s dude that's living in LA that ain't really LA. Like you can see in this game.
It was New York.
Well, in that one it's New York, but in this one I feel like it's LA. But in like all these beat 'em up games from the 80s and 90s, they kind of like mimic being in a big city, but it's always like a made up city that's kind of like New York or LA, kind of like how Gotham is basically New York City, but not really. So this, I feel like this is like, it's like LA, but not really LA, because you can see, like, there's a part of the game where you can kind of see Disneyland in the background, and then there's like arcades and like an amusement park. It could be Florida, whatever. It's some like 80s beat 'em up. But yeah, Streets of Fire is a movie that kind of plays out like Streets of Rage, where the girl gets kidnapped and then they gotta assemble a party of heroes to go rescue her from the bad guy. In this one, you're rescuing your homie that, like, the bad guy, I don't know why he kidnapped him, but like the drug dealer, crime lord abducts your friend and you gotta go rescue him. In Double Dragon, you gotta go rescue your girlfriend, kind of like Streets of Fire. What other movies were like that back then? where it's like inner city and you gotta rescue your friend or your lover.
Double Dragons? Mario Brothers.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Double Dragons? Oh man, I saw that too, but I don't even remember it. I saw that in the theater.
They really didn't rescue anyone, I think, in the movie, but they did have some kind of weird love interest, so it was like this weird love triangle, which I did not like, which is why I remember it.
Was the movie any good?
No, it's cheesy. It was like,
well, I'm okay with some cheese.
I don't know, it left you like, it was okay, it was fine. I mean, Ninja Turtles was better.
Oh, that was a good movie, the first Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we gotta talk about this game a little bit.
But
I'm feeling
alright.
bad. Hey, hey, look, these street lights right here. Well, they're not street lights. They're like bar lights. Like the lamp coming down. There's like a dithering pattern on there that looks like ass because I'm playing this on the Mister. But the Mister actually has like a setting. Holy shit! My fucking phone just started trying to get me. It just started advertising on me mid-recording. Sorry, guys. Phones these days. Well, anyways, yeah, the dithering pattern from that light looks bad, like a checkerboard. But I'm playing this on the Mister, and I think I could have blended it. There's like settings on the Mister where you can blend the dithering so it looks like it's composite video. Because I'm playing this right now through the Mister to my CRT with component video, which natively won't do dithering. I don't know if anyone cares about this. Like, I know there's some CRT heads out there that care about video stuff. I care about video stuff a little bit.
It looks like a saloon and a bar at the same time. Those are kind of different things.
I gotta say, this game looks amazing. Like, I like arcade games because they typically look better than console games, but this game could have been an arcade game. It looks so good. It sounds so good.
So this wasn't in an arcade?
Actually, now that you mention it, this game was so popular and so good that it was first released in consoles and then they actually released it in arcades. And I can't think of any other game that did that. But beat 'em ups are, you know, they were pretty famous. You know, Double Dragon time, Final Fight time. There was a lot of, you know, Dungeons and Dragons, Alien vs. Predator. They were a pretty big genre. And they were making money in the arcade. And this game, yeah, I mean, this game was like, a lot of them were pretty complex and have pretty complex gameplay. You know, I played through X-Men Arcade. That game really doesn't have complex gameplay. There's not much depth to it. This game has so much depth. I couldn't believe it. So I'm playing it, like when you play this game on normal, you can beat it probably like your third playthrough. If you like look up all the mechanics to the game, we can talk about those a little bit here in a minute, but if you figure out the mechanics, like, you know, what would you call it? How to tech throws and how to Oki and, you know, all your different grabs you have with Max, you can beat the game probably your second or third playthrough on normal difficulty. But when you go to hardest difficulty, like you start to have to, like, you have to route out the game. You have to know them, like, I'd say like matchups. Like every enemy in this game, even this like Galcia guy here has a different strategy to this Z dude. Like the Z dude, if you jump on him, he'll anti-air you. So you got to sweep him. And then like the dudes in the cloaks, if you turn around, they won't sweep you. But if you face them, they're going to sweep you and you can jump on them. But I'm not going to get into all that. Like if you want to figure all that out, you really got to just start playing it. But what I'm getting at is getting the hardest clear on this took me several weeks and just playing it over and over with save states. It was hard and it was rewarding and you just get better and better. And as Max, you really have to use all of his abilities. Like he has all these different grabs, forward grabs, backward grabs. You have to figure it all out. If you're into it, you really need to go to just like GameFAQs and look up all of his different moves and wrap your head around which ones do the most damage. And as Max, you're supposed to do more grabs. Like, he's really a grappler. Yeah. But, there was this dude, Anthropants, that plays the shit out of this game.
Seriously?
Yeah, so, like, I'm put this on the hardest difficulty that it has, is hardest. But when you beat it on hardest, it actually, it'll tell you, like, hey, dude, if you hook up the second player controller and hold A and B down, like, when the game resets, you can play this on Mania mode. And there's a harder mode on this game that I've played online with people. Mania, played it twice now. And Mania plays differently, like the enemies move way faster. And this dude Anthropants like speed runs the game on Mania mode with 1 life. And I've watched it before and been like, oh man, I can do that. That's no big deal. But after playing this on hardest and then playing it on Mania, fuck, dude. Like, there's like, I have a new appreciation for people that play this game. This is a deep game that it can be as hard as you want it. Like, you can play it on Mania with Max or Blade. Like, so there's 4 characters too. And Axel is kind of like putting it on easy. He has that grand upper attack that you can just like grand upper through the whole game and kind of cheat. Or you can play with Max, and it's a little harder with Max. You have to really utilize all of his moves and kind of play the game. You can't just cheese it with the grand upper attack. And then there's Blaze and Skate, who I think are even harder to use than Max. So yeah, like, you can do that. You can put it on like you can put it like in options 1 life, or you can put it on hardest. You can put it on Mania. There's actually a Mania Plus online hack you can do to make it even harder. So this game just goes super deep. Yeah, she's giving me face right now. But what do you... So, like, you're looking at this game. You don't hear the music, though. The music to this game's awesome. Have you heard the music to this game, Izzy?
No.
Oh, right here, there's another extra life.
Bam.
Boom, there it is. I'm playing the music right now for her. Now that I'm playing it, I'm realizing that this probably isn't Izzy's jam.
It unfortunately sounds like a lot of your other video games. Like, it to my ear, it just sounds like a lot of the other stuff you play, which is very typical video game noise.
That might not have been the best level to pick, but
You can try again later.
yeah, this game has great music.
It looks more like New York to me because you have all the scaffolding and
Versus LA.
yeah, LA doesn't have the big skyscrapers. I mean, they do, but it just is different than New York because New York seems to be always renovating, scaffolding, adding things, doing all this stuff.
Yeah, like if you go to
Maybe
New
not.
York,
I don't
there's
know.
always like construction in progress on all their buildings. And you just don't really see that in LA, which is interesting. Probably because New York is like, like you go to Manhattan and it's like an island. There's not much room. They have to build up. Versus in LA, it's just spread out, so there's more room. Oh, like right here, you can see me hanging back to the left instead of moving to the right, which is a main feature of this game. If you move to the right, you're going to spawn more enemies right here. Like, look, see? I just got hit to the middle of the screen and all these enemies show up. And that's something you really have to wrap your head around if you want to get it clear on this game, is how to spawn enemies. Spawning enemies can happen from moving to the right of the screen, or it can happen like based on your position on the screen. Like, some enemies pop up like if you're in the middle or if you're in a particular spot. And if you're getting to like a boss section of this game and he's kicking your ass and there's like multiple bosses, like there's like multiple enemies on the screen, you probably should see if you can spawn one at a time. And almost all cases you can. These guys here are a pain in the ass. Jet.
So does this level, or does this game have levels with bosses at the end, or is it one big long game and then a boss at the end?
So we just beat a level. That was stage 2.
Okay.
Some levels have like mid bosses. All of them have an end boss. And on hardest difficulty, the end boss a lot of times will have a couple extra enemies, so it's not just one boss.
I missed the whole kidnap girlfriend, or is it kidnap best friend, or
And this
what is
one,
this one?
so this is Streets of Rage 2. And one of the characters, this black dude from Streets of Rage 1, who was one of the characters you could play as, I forget his name. He's been kidnapped by the crime boss, and I think Max is his friend or something, and Axel's his friend, and Blaze, the chick you can play, might be his girlfriend. And then I think his brother plays Skate as his brother in this. And all of the characters in this game play very differently. Like they're all like different archetypes. And like I was saying, Axel's kind of boring. Like you can just cheese your way through and bare knuckle. But I've played with people online who have used Axel and been pretty creative with them. Like you don't have to play him lame. You can play him a little more interesting. I'd say Skate. Like I've played with people online, and Skate looks the most interesting to me. He just looks like he's all over the place. He's the fastest. Max is also, to me, pretty interesting. He's the slowest, but he has all of these like technical grabs and different grabs. And
when did this game come out?
oh man, I don't know. Streets of Rage 1 came out early Sega Genesis, and I want to say this came out like like 91 or something.
It's interesting what was popular at the time, because this guy, you look at him and it's like, I just see Arnold Schwarzenegger.
To me, I see like a wrestler.
There were no wrestlers that looked like that. I mean, I watched WWF.
This dude's fucking huge.
They
He's
didn't
bigger
all-
than Arnold. This guy's massive.
Well, sure, but the point is that was a thing. Like, ever since Arnold, the whole Mr. Universe.
That muscle man ideal kind of started with Arnold.
Well, he was the most unique Mr. Universe because of his height. So, like, ever since then.
Well, there was Lou Ferrigno. You know what?
Well,
He kind of looks like Lou Ferrigno.
He does.
Because he's dark and he's big.
But he wasn't. Lou Ferrigno was now this muscular. So that's
Yeah,
like.
he was. Lou Ferrigno was a monster.
Was he? I don't
Oh,
remember
yeah,
him
he was
in the Hulk,
fucking-
which he was not as cut as Arnold. Which, I mean, that could have been after his
I don't
career.
know, man.
But
I always thought Lou Ferrigno was kind of got done dirty. Like, if you watch
love
that
Lou.
movie, have you seen that Pumping Iron movie?
with Arnold?
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched
He
it.
does
I don't remember.
poor old dummy Lou Ferrigno dirty. Like he teases him and he messes with
Well,
him
of
because
course,
he's
we know,
kind of.
there's no question of. We're not talking about Arnold's character right now. We're talking about like his look. But I love Lou Ferrigno.
I like how he does him dirty. That shit's funny.
You have absurd humor, which I do not agree with. But whatever.
He trolls him, dude. He fucks with his head,
I do
dude.
not understand your brother's speak.
Yeah, he has fun with the big dummy.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, both of them hold a special place in my heart. Like honestly.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, but that was a thing.
This dude looks like the Hulk.
That's what I'm saying. That was a thing. That was real popular. I mean, the Hulk was popular on its own. And then don't forget there was like, Fezzik the Giant, which it's not Fezzik, it's Andre the Giant, excuse me. He'll always be Fezzik.
Oh, yeah. But he wasn't all buffed out. I will
No.
say, like, when I was so I had this game as a kid. It was one of my favorite games. And as a kid, I gotta admit, I don't think I ever beat it, even on normal difficulty. I remember getting to the last boss, but I don't think I ever beat him, which is actually embarrassing, because as a grown-ass man, I remember playing it on normal difficulty and, like, beating it, like, the second or third time I played it, like, kind of figuring it out. But, like, as adults, like, we look up online all the moves and shit, like, there's tech in this game. Like, I didn't know you could hold up and jump, and you would, like, tech throws, and I didn't know how to Oki. But as an adult, like, I went and looked that stuff up.
Look it up where?
Just on the inner tubes.
So look it up as an adult. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, as a kid, like, I didn't know all the moves.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, when you were a kid, where'd you look it up?
As a kid, there were magazines. And I never had them, which is fucked up because my dad was actually supportive of my video games. Like, he bought me video games. He gave me money for arcade. And I remember one time my dad was like, hey, let me get you, oh look, you can see fucking Disneyland in the background. But at one point my dad was like, dude, let me get you Nintendo Power. And I was like, no, I don't need Nintendo Power. And he's like, well, let me get you like fucking this arcade, or you like these video games, let me get you a video game magazine. And I don't know what the fuck was in my stupid ass juvenile brain, but I wouldn't let my dad buy me a magazine.
I think it's like something we all go through as teenagers. There is actually...
Dude, and I was reading, like, I was a reader, I still am. Like, I read comics, and I read books, and here's my dad, like, he's like looking at me like, what's wrong with you, bro?
There's
like, you fucking want? I wouldn't let him buy me a fucking magazine. There's a biological
reason that teenagers...
I wasn't even a teenager.
You were...
I was like 10 or something, or 9, and he was like, fucking, you like these comics and video games? Let's get you a magazine. Well, they'll deliver it. And he like argued with me. He's like, we'll deliver it to the door. Now that I'm a grown-ass adult, I'm actually hold it against my dad. It's his fault.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. Because if Gabe said no, I would have just done it for him. I'd be like, he's dumb. He's a little kid. He don't fucking know. I'm just going to order him this magazine. And that's what it is.
Unread.
No,
if it was
bullshit.
your kid, it would go unread. If it was you, maybe. But
if this shit showed up to my door every month, I'd have been all over Nintendo
There is
Power.
a biological thing that kids, especially teenagers, want to separate themselves from their parents, so therefore they don't like any of their suggestions. And it's a thing.
I don't know what it was. Like, I was adamant, like, you make dumbass decisions when you're a kid. Like, if you guys raise kids, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, you ask kids shit, and they just don't think like kids aren't little adults. Like, they have like a different understanding of reality.
And it's like very momentary of like, what sounds good right now? And it might sound good right now, so you do it. And then they're like, I really don't want that. I'm like, why'd you say that?
It's actually exploitable, which is fun. Like, I teach Sunday school, and I got a little kid. Like, I make up stories, and they believe like anything I tell them.
Rolling my eyeballs.
Like, I used to teach kindergarten, and I had these kindergartners, like, the air conditioner was broken and it made sounds in the air ducts. And they're like, what's that sound? I was like, dudes, that's Gremlins. You guys seen the movie Gremlins? And this one kid's like, oh yeah, I seen Gremlins. And I'm like, that's what it is. Like, gremlins are little demons that get into the air ducts and they cause problems. And that's what you're hearing right now. And they'll believe you. Like, they will just believe it. Like you told them, like, it's gonna rain tomorrow, they'll believe it. So that's what. Hey, so this is some H.R. Geiger shit right here. They just ripped it off, which I'm all about. Like, I love how video games used to rip off comic books and movies, and like, this is a rip off of like 80s muscle dudes and wrestling and fucking Alien. You want to
call it a ripoff? It's like just something that is in the culture, so it just permeates.
Well, now you can't do this. Like, if you did this now, you would get sued. But back then, they'd put Batman in the Shinobi game and Spider-Man and shit. Well, this is what you want to do. Like, if you face away from this guy with Max, oh, and there's an extra life right here I just picked up. But if you face away from that Geiger alien monster and swing your sword, that's the best way to kill that guy by far. He's actually a pain in the ass with Max if you don't have the sword, but it's pretty easy to get the sword. You don't want to fucking just jump and attack, which is, if you don't have the sword, you just do the neutral jump attack. I believe with Axel, you can just bare knuckle, like you can fucking grand upper, I guess it's called. You can do that through everything in the game. But that's what you want to do there. This guy, there's a boss coming up. he's one of my favorite bosses to fight. There's like 3 different ways you can approach him. Like, you knock him down and then you get close to him and you jump away, and he'll always jump up like that. And you can attack and then do your forward super, and as he's blocking it, it does chip damage, like mad chip damage. Or you can just walk into him and then grab him, or you can jump behind him like that. Like, there's 3 different ways you can approach him, which I like. Like, and that's the thing in this game. Like I just told you, 3 different ways you can kill that boss, which you're like, oh, well, I just need to know one of them. You really need to know all 3, because you fight him later in the game and you don't always get to do the attack you want to do. You have to do the one that's available based on your position. Like, when you fight him later in the game, there's popcorn enemies on the screen, and there's those fucking spandex women on the screen. And you have to you don't have time. You have to improvise, like, what attack is available based on your position. So it's good to learn multiple different ways to kill bosses and handle different situations in this game. Like, some situations you can use the sword, but maybe you won't get there with the sword. So you need to know, like, a backup strategy, how to handle it without the sword or the pole here. There's Disneyland there in the background again.
Keeps popping up.
Yeah, that's why I say it's like, this looks like Central Park though, doesn't it?
Not to me, no.
Just say yes.
Yes, dear.
I like how she doesn't argue with me anymore.
No.
We've been together so long, she's just like, fuck it. Like,
Basically.
you want me to agree with you? Sure, dude.
It's New York and Disneyland all rolled into one.
I guess the only reason I say it's like Disneyland is because
There's
there's
the castle.
fucking that castle in
And
the
the
background.
Ferris wheel, and there's lights, and they have a light parade, or at least they used to. I don't get the Central Park. I guess it's because it's like benches with shrubbery. The lattice work isn't really in New York.
No, well, that type of shrubbery with trees and the benches kind of looks like New York to me.
Yeah, well, we only went to lower Central Park area. We didn't get
We went in the baseball stadium like this, didn't we?
baseball stadium.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You don't remember?
Don't give me that. Do this. Oh yeah, I remember.
Just
you
say
don't.
yes.
Okay, that one I'm arguing with you on.
Yeah.
We only made it as
You
far.
can only push it so far, guys.
You can. We made it as far as Beth Tessa Terrace because I was 8 months pregnant, not planning on being 8 months
She was
pregnant.
hella
at the time.
pregnant when we went to New York.
I was very.
She was a good sport.
I walked so far.
She did.
And
She
I
wanted
was
to go to
done.
New York though.
I did, and that was my honeymoon, my gift, and I loved it. But I did not plan on being 8 months pregnant. So, you know. Speaking of which, let me clarify. We got married, didn't have a honeymoon right away, because we just, like, immediately started our lives. So we're like, oh, we're gonna take a vacation. You know, a couple months later, blah, blah. Well, you know, surprise happened, and I got pregnant, and we decided...
You're only a little bit pregnant.
Oh, please, you just said I was hella pregnant. Don't give me that nonsense.
Hey, why you gotta like bring up things I said like before? You gotta call me out on my bullshit.
Because it's my...
No, this is my fans. You gotta back me up.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Earlier, I did.
Well, there was that one time.
There was that one time that like was like so 5 minutes ago. But anyway,
What the hell is that in the background?
I don't know.
Is that like a TV? With all those
No.
like little squares?
Looks like a...
Look at these women here. Don't they look sexual?
Extremely. That was a big thing. And the building looks like one of those New York buildings with the lights, like a business building. I don't know what the thing on the right is. I'm like, what is that?
These
No,
sexual beast women here are kind of a problem.
Why?
Like when 2 of them are on the screen.
Oh, I thought you were going someplace else with that.
Yeah, of course you did. But when I'm talking about this game. I'm serious
game
about this
and-
game.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and how hard it is, and how difficult it is with all
And
the
it's deep.
sexual and the deepness of it. Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get it. Hey, you want to play this game with me?
No dear.
I got her to play Contra with me. We beat Contra.
I didn't know what I was doing.
No, you did fine. I think we
Yeah.
used 30 lives code.
I can't play video games, guys. I
could get you to. There's a lady in here, and she's a lady like you. You could play as the lady. She's actually probably the hardest to play as. You'd be better off as the blonde guy. You can just freaking grand
remember
up her
him.
through the whole game.
Well, I was not a video gamer growing
No.
up. That was not allowed. And
Hey, I fucking knitted for you. You couldn't video game for me.
I contrad for you.
There was that one time.
And I tubies for you.
Tubies.
YouTubes.
Oh yeah, she makes these videos with me.
Yeah, I do things.
What are you gonna say?
You forgot.
These guys are kind of fun to
What's
fight.
the problem with the broads?
What broads? Oh, the broads, like,
I mean, what broads?
you can cheese them and just
What does
walk
that even mean?
cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese is like you do the cheapest, easiest tactic that has no style.
Because, you know
Like
what?
this is cheesing right here. I stand in the corner, I face the other way, and I just fucking I mule kick these guys. I'm not gonna fucking fight them. Like, I could engage them. And, I mean, this is cheesing. This is cheesing.
Okay.
Like, I could walk up and, like, grab them from behind. I mean, if you're skilled, you can, like, slide into them just right, and then you can grapple them and grab them and do all kinds of funny shit like that.
Slide in.
Yeah, like, look right there. I just slid into him, and I grabbed him from behind, and I had my wicked way with them, and I did both of them double time.
Ah, nice that you finally picked it up. I was waiting.
Oh, I
for you.
picked. Yeah, I don't know what you mean, but I
Slide right into it and do him double time.
yeah, I did both of them at the same time. They got double teamed.
Keep going. You'll get there.
Were you talking sexual?
Yes.
No, this is video games.
It's like what happens with men's
Look,
sports.
I didn't
okay?
come here to get horny, right? We just want to talk about video games. Like, this is like a safe space for men. Did I just say that? I feel like a fucking bitch. Don't look at me like,
I could say something right now.
we need a safe space. I'm sick of getting horny everywhere you look, guys. Like, there's like just sexual shit everywhere. I don't need to be getting horny when I'm trying to play a video game.
He's got a point. But however, this is the video game you chose, and this is the stuff that was portrayed back then. They were throwing all this stuff out there way too young for children. back then.
Did any of you guys watch some shit you probably shouldn't have seen when you were a little kid?
I know I did.
I saw Pulp Fiction when I was like 11 years
my
old.
God. What's wrong with
I didn't know. Like, my homie was like, hey, you want to watch this movie? And I was like, yeah, I like moopies. And he put that on, and like, I loved it too, by the way.
Yeah, of course you did.
My daughter's 9. Like, and I think 2 years from now, like, oh, I don't. And the weird thing is, at 11 years old, I actually understood Pulp Fiction. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's some shit you see and you're so young, like, you don't even understand what's what. But
That's where she's at.
thank God. But I was 11, and I don't want to get into the details, but I knew what was going down. Because we were just like, I'm 41, like,
Left to our own
we were
devices.
just, yeah,
And
the
figured
things
it
were,
out.
yeah, and there was the pop culture shit out there. Oh, this guy here is fun to fight. He's hard
Why
too.
is there a turkey there?
When he's here by him, turkey in video games is like universal for life refill. Like, you want to eat turkey.
What
Even if it's
turkey?
wall meat. Like, if that turkey's,
Wall meat?
yeah, sometimes the turkey's hidden in the wall.
Oh my God.
That's fine. Like, you will eat that wall meat. That was like crate meat. I don't know why the turkey is universal for that, but oh yeah, this guy.
Thanksgiving dinner, eating as much
What's
as you
his
want.
name? Abadade. Like,
Abadade?
this is this is the tactic here. But when there's multiples on the screen later on when you fight them, you can't just do that. And then later on you fight them in an elevator and it's cramped. Like there isn't as much vertical movement. So you have to be ready to fight them different ways. Like another way you can fight them is just to corner them. Like if you get enemies up against the side of the screen, you can just grab them. Like if you stand over them, when they get up, you can immediately grab them. And if you hit like attack, you'll slam them like right away. Yeah. Like the pipe here is really useful with Max because it hits people behind him as well as in front of him.
When did you pick it up? Like, you just pick it up randomly in different levels?
Oh yeah, I picked the pipe up fucking all over the place.
Oh
like,
my. Okay.
You can pick the pipe up, but if you get knocked down, like the pipe will drop, and then you can pick it up again, and then if you get hit, it'll drop, and you can pick it up again. But if you keep doing that, you can't pick the pipe up anymore.
Why not? There's a certain number of pipe.
Yeah, the pipe has so many hit points. But yeah, when you play it on like we're on hardest difficulty. When you play on Mania, the pipe is less useful because the enemies, the popcorn enemies, like these guys, they don't just waddle up to you like this, like we're seeing right here. They fucking zoom. They come up to you like super fast, like a jellyfish.
Jellyfish.
They are in the water. They're like lobsters.
They don't even have a brain to move them.
What do you know? You don't. When was the last time you were in the water? Oh, you hear that silence?
Just tonight.
Fucking bathtub. There ain't no jellyfish in there. She don't know what she's talking about, dude.
Ocean?
I surf. There's jellyfish in there. Okay, to be honest with you, the jellyfish really aren't that fast.
No, I saw a jellyfish probably more recently than you.
You know what it is, right?
A jellyfish?
No, there's this song by the fuck, what are they called? Like Snoop Dogg sings it with them. It's the super fast jellyfish. It's like a hip hop song.
Mm-hmm.
She don't know no hip hop.
I don't do hip hop. I don't do new music. I don't do rap.
Well, there's a hip hop song by like this eclectic band, and they do a song called Super Fast Jellyfish.
Okay.
That's where that comes from. But jellyfish really aren't fast. Like when you're in the water, they just sit there.
They have to rely on the current to move them.
Don't get all scientific, man. Fuck science.
Help it. The brain is geared towards science and information, especially when you get it wrong.
Oh yeah. She pipes up real quick when I get something wrong.
It's my duty as a wife. Don't give me the.
Oh yeah, she's making me a better man by handpecking me like one peck at a time.
Don't pretend like you don't enjoy it.
With the handpecking? No, I could do without the peckage.
The peckage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What was I gonna say?
Peckage.
No, I was talking about difficulty.
Yeah, it's so hard being married to me. Difficult.
No, not your difficulty.
Yeah.
I've made peace with that.
That's good. It's not gonna get any easier.
This game, like playing. So like the reason I started playing this game, guys. I got a reason why I started playing this game. You got any more wine?
Mm-hmm.
Can I have some of your wine? I drank all my beer. I said I wasn't gonna drink any wine, but they're good.
It's the Purple Cowboy. So.
This wine is actually pretty good. $3 Chuck. But hey, so the reason I play this game, so I play on Fightcade and I play Street Fighter and I play against guys and we play against each other and they get all fucking people. Some dudes are cool, and I've found that like the better the player is, like if they're rank B on Street Fighter 2 Hyper or whatever, like they're usually cool. But when you're playing guys like rank C, like some of them are assholes and they'll just say mean ass shit. And if you get beat and then somebody says some mean ass shit, like it actually does start to affect you, dude. Like we all care about what people say. Back off, this is my wine. Why you gotta creep up on a come up? I told you I wanted one. Oh, you gotta give me the balls? Oh, can I have a drink? Go ahead.
If you drink it, but he's just standing there holding it.
I'm trying to
sloshing
tell him
around.
about why I played this game. Oh, you see how I like...
I know.
I
You're
just
trying
spawned-
to educate people.
I just spawned this one enemy at a time right there. So spawning one of those jetpack dudes versus both at the same time is pretty major right here. Like, that'll save you a life. Well, anyways, I was saying why I played this game. I play on Fightcade, and I play these people online. They all talk shit. And I wanted to play not a competitive game, but a co-op game online. So I looked, like, you go on to Fightcade and you look up, like, what are popular co-op games. And it's like Final Fight, Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, and then this popped up, Streets of Rage 2. And it's not very popular, but you can get games for this. People will play with you. And I was able to find games, and I wanted a game I could play co-op online. And it plays really good. Like, even if there's some input lag or somebody's far away, it's still okay playing it on this. It's actually, I feel like, easier to manage having a little bit of input lag or rollback playing this on Fightcade than it is like playing somebody competitively on Super Turbo. Like, if there's rollback and you guys are too far away, like, it's just, I can't fucking handle it. But on this, it's okay. And there's guys to play where I'm at anyways. I live in California. But yeah, I've been able to meet guys up online, and playing this online is very different than playing by yourself. Like, playing this co-op, there's like different strats. Like I was saying, you can spawn you can spawn one mini boss at a time. Like, if somebody hangs on the back left and somebody else walks forward, it's pretty easy to spawn one person at a time. It's actually easier to control the spawns with 2 players. But with 2 players, you can hit each other. So you gotta like control one, like you gotta manage like the top or the bottom of the screen and be cognizant of like hitting your co-op player. So yeah, this is a fun game to play online. And I found like playing the guys that meet up, there's only guys that are really good playing this. There's only a handful of them. But they've been pretty cool to me. Like, I'm new to it, and I'll just go on there. Like, you'll go on to you'll go on to Streets of Rage 2 on Fightcade, and you'll see that there's nobody available. But if you put in the comments, like, hey, anybody want to do a hardest run or a mania run? Dude, somebody always pipes up. Like, hell yeah, I want cheesy poofs. And you can like tell them, hey, I want to play Max, or I want to play Blaze, or whatever. And the guys that play this are like super good. Like, you can get super good at this game, like ridiculously good. Like, there is a pretty high skill ceiling. But those guys will even play with you on normal, because if they play with you on normal, they can do like super style strats, and they can maybe play with a harder character. So they can still have fun playing with you, maybe on an easier difficulty. And I have found playing guys on Mania versus Hardest might actually be more fun than Mania. Like, Mania, the enemies move so fast that you can't really style on them. It reminds me of, like, I have clears on my YouTube channel of Hyper Fighting Street Fighter. And then also Super Turbo, I've cleared that game too. Getting a 1 credit clear on Super Turbo is painful, because you just have to cheese the computer the whole time. But Hyper Fighting, you can style on it, and I feel like that's how it is playing this game online. Like, on hardest difficulty, you have more options available. Like, you can style on it. Versus playing it on Mania, like, you just have to cheese it, and it can be kind of boring. Like today, I played a guy on Mania, and he was like, "Let's just put it 9 lives, and then just like haul ass through the first 4 levels, and who cares if we die?" Because it's, and I was like, "Well, why do you want to do that?" And he said, "Well, it gets kind of boring, just like cheesing it through the first 4 levels and doing it hella slow. So let's just put it on 9 lives, and then you don't have to worry about picking up the extra 1-ups and picking up money and shit." Because like this playthrough is 1 hour and 20 minutes. But if you put it on 9 lives and you didn't care about picking up money or dying a couple times, you could probably get it down to like 1 hour pretty easy, or 55 minutes. You passed out? Oh, she's fucking passed out, guys. It's like, what time is it? It's 1 in the morning. And fucking Izzy's dick's in the dirt, guys.
No, your dick's in the dirt.
No, you're the one.
We all know I am well satisfied.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, you're gonna do that.
I'm not gonna argue with the woman here.
That's good.
I'm just gonna drink her wine, and you can go ahead and take a nap. But I think she's checking out at stage 6. You
How
made
many
it
stages are there?
8. So we're at
Almost
stage
there.
6. We're 46 minutes in. Let's see. Can you entertain me, Izzy, before you pass the fuck out? Or are you done?
What type of entertainment would you like, dear?
The funny kind.
Entertain you.
She.
Let me make some.
What is that? Les Miserables?
Some new and then some more tricks. Really versatile. No, it is not Les Miserables.
Are you gonna flex French on me?
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? We already did that.
You did that at one point,
I did.
and I still don't remember. It means like, would you like to hang out with me or something like that?
That's a euphemism. It means would you like to have sex with me tonight?
Oh my god. Are you serious?
No, we already did that. I'm done. I'm good. Well satisfied. Happy.
Oh man. I think I just spilled Cowboy fucking $3 Chuck wine on myself.
You're fine.
Oh well, it's not like I got fancy clothes on anyways. Yeah, oh, so this recording turned out really good, guys.
So obviously you're on the coast because you are on a beach. No.
Yes, Izzy.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to say to that?
Well, no, I'm like, okay, but narrowing
Oh, like
down,
it can't be New York. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it does
like,
look
they
tropical.
don't have a beach, like, so that
This actually looks
makes
more
me
like
think
Florida.
Florida, yeah.
it does look more Florida-y.
they don't have a beach in Manhattan.
But we gotta remember, like, some Japanese dudes made this game. Oh, you can see here I spawned these 2 guys instead of all 4 of them.
Spawned them.
Yeah, because I didn't
Sounds
move. If I
terrible.
move all the way to the right, I'll spawn all 4 of these guys at once, which I don't want to do. See, there they come. Here's the rest of them. These guys, you slide into them and you try to get behind them and grab them, and then do that atomic bomb or whatever the hell it's called. What I was gonna say is, my recording turned out really good on this one. On this level, there's a lot of flat blue and brown, so you might see a little moire pattern, which is like wavy lines. But the rest of the game, like, is so, there's so much, what would you call it, just detail in the background that you can't even pick up on the moire pattern. I recorded this on my BVM, and when I was recording it, I noticed there's a setting on my BVM, on my CRT, that says aperture. And I tried turning it on, and it makes the screen a lot sharper. In fact, it makes it too sharp to where if I'm playing it, you know, if I was just going to play a game for fun, I would turn it off. But I figured I'd turn it on, and that would allow me to put the game a little bit more out of focus, and then it would still look sharp even though it's out of focus because of that aperture setting. It makes my BVM look like go from a 900 line to like 1,000 line monitor. So we did that. So in this part here, I think I get my ass kicked. Like, ideally what you want to do is if you walk to the right and you're against a wall, like, it's really easy to just loop these guys in a throw pattern and just keep grabbing them if you keep having them against the wall. Which is like later on in the game, on the last level, there's an elevator stage. And that's one of the main ways you get through the elevator, is you either just special attack or you fucking grab them. Like, if you don't grab somebody immediately, you just special attack because there's so many enemies on the screen. So you just stand up against the wall, and when you're against the wall, your chances of grabbing them are a lot better.
Fuck.
Like, you can knock them down, and then you just stand right over them.
Stupid shit.
So that's like an Oki kind of pattern, like you would get in a fighting game. But I get, like right here, I think I start screaming on my recording, like when I'm playing it, because I start just losing lives. Like, this is a section where I can get through and not even get hit. But for some reason on this playthrough, I just got my ass handed to me. But I mean, that's the thing with this game, is it's so long. You can actually stand to like do poorly on a section and then make up for it later. That being said, like, there's later parts of the game that are, to me, are so hard. I didn't really just map them out. I just plan on just special attacking through the whole section and just spamming my special attack, which drains your life. So I just plan on losing a life or two in some sections, which you can afford if you go through the rest of the game without losing too many lives. But if you're sloppy through the whole game, then you're not going to make it through. So there's some wiggle room with this game. I put it on the standard 3 lives to start with. But like I said, you pick up 3 lives through the playthrough that are secret pickups. And then there's like 2 or 3 lives that are just like hidden under barrels. So then you're at 5 lives, and then you get extends from getting points. So I feel like you typically get like 12 lives. Like, you start with 3 and then you can easily pick up like 9 more, just 9 extra lives from points and the 1-ups you pick up through the game. You probably pick up like, I would say, an additional 9 lives. And then if you die, there's 2 continues, and you start with 3 additional lives if you didn't adjust the options. So all that being said, you get like, what is that? It's like 18 lives to go through the whole game. It's a lot of fucking lives. So there is definitely wiggle room, even on hardest. So like right here, I started fucking up, and I was like, oh, it's all falling apart. And I was all being a big sissy about it. But we get the clear, and I had extra lives to spare after I got the clear. Oh, on this section here, I always walk in the same part. Like, I always walk on that dotted line, this dash line there. And there's another section earlier in the game on level 2 with those motorcycle guys, and I always walk on the bottom. And I typically get hit once or twice on both of those sections doing it that way, but that's it. So I'm okay getting hit like once or twice from the motorcycle guys. And I'm not mapping this game out perfect to where like I know exactly where to stand for every spawn. And you could do that. Like, the enemies do spawn in a predictable way. And you could map it out so you never even get hit on this game. But I'm not that into this game. I'm cool on this hardest difficulty. Now I can play with guys online if I want. We can get a Mania clear. We can get a hardest clear. I mean, I definitely got room for improvement. I played with the guys online, and like, they'll help me out and they'll tell me like, hey, stand here and do this and that. And they talk a little bit of shit online, like the dudes that are really good at this game. But I'm cool with that. Like, it'd be weird if they didn't talk any shit. Oh, like in the background there, you can see that fucking... the last stage there. It kind of reminds me of Castlevania on the Nintendo. If you work it right here, you can spawn just the nails guy, the guy with the claws, and then the jetpack guy doesn't spawn. It's kind of hard to do. Like, I lose a life here. I could have picked up that turkey and not lost that life. I guess his name is Southerner or some shit. What did I call him? Nails? If you kill him, like, the level's over. And that was stage 6. We still got 2 more stages.
So what are the stages? What are they comprised of?
This one's got some robots going through. Yeah, back in the 90s, we thought robots were going to take over the world, which didn't really pan out. I mean, now they talk about AI. But AI is like internet shit. Like, if AI takes over anything, it's going to be like software jobs and intellectual jobs. Like, AI ain't going to be like... We're not going to have robots like in Rocky, where fucking they have like a robot that's like your servant that like cleans the house for you. Like, robots aren't very good at like actually mechanical functioning in the world. Like, they're not good at walking or cleaning, or they ain't going to be doing no plumbing or any kind of like physical job. But yeah, we're at some robot factory. We do fight some robots later on. And the robots are a problem. Like, there's a part in this, like, the boss of this level is 3 robots, which is pretty hard for me to beat. But there's a way to cheese them. Like, I'm cheesing these guys here, you know. If you just fucking get them all, like, in the same position, you can just keep punching them with the same rhythm. Oh, these guys here, like, you want to face them when you fight them. These, like, guys with this they're like the motorcycle guys. If you face away from them, they'll grab you. But you can actually walk right into them and they won't grab you. Or as long as you're facing them and you're attacking them, they're pretty easy. You just don't want to turn away from them. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the robots. So the way to fight the robots on this level is... it's a pretty cool cheese. Like, I'm not against cheesing some shit if it's like a cool cheese. Like, if there's a style way to do it. So what you do is right before, like the section before you fight the robots, they're the last boss, you fight one of those punker dudes that throws knives, like a mini boss. And you get him to throw 5 knives. And the knives just bounce and they stay on the floor. And as long as there's 5 knives on the floor, there's so many sprites on the screen that when the robots spawn, they can't actually hit you. Like, I don't know why, but basically, as long as you have 5 knives on the screen, which is all the knives that the punker can throw, the robots can't hit you. And you can just fight them and you're basically invincible. As soon as you kill one of them, though, then the other 2 can hit you. So it kind of behooves you to kind of spread out your damage. Yeah. This part here, you want to definitely spawn just this chick. Like, I do not want to walk forward and spawn that fucking ninja. I really don't want to do that. Like, I could... oh, and I did it. Let's see how I do. I don't remember. This section can be hard. Like, we fight this ninja, and then there's another ninja. And then I think there's also... 2 more of those, like, sexual deviant women in the leather. And you want to spawn them one at a time. We should get some trash can turkey here in a second. Which, come to think of it, like, why the fuck is the turkey in a trash can when we eat it and it gives us full energy? I don't know why that became a thing, but it is kind of goofy. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, the main elevator section's coming up in this game, which is probably the hardest section in the game. Yeah, you see how I'm controlling the spawn right here. I'm only spawning like just that chick, and I don't have all of these enemies on the screen at once. Oh, now I got 2 of them. Yeah, so the elevator section coming up, where I was telling you, you know, we at the last section part of it, we want to like keep all the knives on the screen. Like, there's a section before that where you want to try to keep the sword on the screen, and if you pick up the sword when you're fighting the kickboxers, you can stand in the bottom right corner and just swing the sword, and you'll kill all of the kickboxer enemies. But I'm not able to pull that off in this playthrough, and I haven't found a reliable way to do that. It just kind of feels like chance to whether I can get the sword on that section or not. But if I can't get the sword on that section, I'm gonna lose like 2 lives. And then, yeah, so here we are, this elevator section. This is a major section here where I have 8 lives. And basically, I want to try to not lose all 8 before I get to the last level. But we're going to lose fucking 6 lives at least. And on these popcorn enemies, like you can just face away and then do this donkey kick here. And these coat guys, if you face them, they'll sweep into you. They'll do their sweep attack. But if you face away, even on Mania, they'll just walk right into you. Now we have the jetpack guys coming up right here. And there's several different attacks you can do on the jetpack guys. If they're far away from you and they drop down, you can jump up and neutral attack them. But if they go up like they did right there, ideally what you want to do is move away from their shadow, like vertically move away, and then you can grab them like I did just there when they land. But now that there's so many people on the screen, it's like really hard to grab anybody. And then you can get fucking grabbed yourself like that. So alternatively, you can just sit there and spam your special. Like, I already lost a life. And you can see here I'm just kind of fed up with it. Okay, once one of them's dead, taking out one at a time is pretty easy. Okay, this part here, basically, okay, I want to keep that sword. See that sword on the ground? I want to stand over it and just swing special. Is probably what I'm going to try to do. There goes Esme. Izzy. Esme's calling you. Esme. She's doing the big mom. My daughter's calling. It's like 1 a.m. Yeah, so I lost the sword here. So what I try to do in this section here is stand against the wall and do special, and then I try to grab guys, but if I don't grab somebody immediately against the wall, I'm gonna special attack. You see, I do grab people. Like, if you're against the wall, you have a pretty good chance of grabbing somebody right when they get up. So we had 8 lives, now we're down to 4. And if you can get to this section here with these kickboxers and you have the sword, you can just stand in this bottom right corner and just swing the sword over and over again.
You swing the sword.
Yeah, you swing your sword.
My mind is not.
Yeah,
Yes.
Lizzie's dick's in the dirt.
I am so sleepy.
Yeah, she's doing the big sleep. It's 1 in the morning.
Yeah.
But we're almost done here. I mean,
So we're gonna get to the last level or what?
I beat the game here, and I pop off. This
I know. I'm like, it's a long game. Jeez.
it's fucking long. Yeah, I mean, a lot of console games are long versus arcade games. That's one thing I like about arcade games is they're not as long. Like, this is maybe too long. Yeah, so here what you gotta do is you want to kill everybody except for that knife guy. And you want to leave him on the screen and get him to throw all of his knives. And he only has 5 knives he can throw. And if you leave him on the screen and you stand away from him, he's gonna throw the knives immediately. Like, he wants to throw his knives. It's not hard to get him to do it. What are you doing? Don't do that. Izzy's like fucking with the keyboard like a tweaker.
I am not. If anyone's a tweaker in this relationship, it's you.
Well, we're sitting here recording and you're fucking up the timing. Like, if you hit pause and the screen's going and I'm talking in the microphone, then I'm gonna be talking about shit that ain't even on the screen.
At this point, you would just let him talk. I've known him so long, it's like whatever. I was merely trying to look at something.
What the hell were you trying to look at?
See how long this is. Like,
If you want to touch the fucking computer, you ask me.
Listen to him pontificate over there.
You don't know what you're doing.
You're
I'm
right.
the one.
I don't know how to work a keyboard. Nope.
Barely.
Never. Mm-mm.
Okay, so here, look. I think I got 5 knives on the screen. Sometimes you can't see all the knives. Like, look, right here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. But sometimes, like, 1 is off the screen. And it is off the screen because you can see him throwing his little chain attack, and like nobody's damaging me. So what you try to do, like there's 3 of them, and you want to spread your damage out so that you don't. You know, I try not to pick up a knife. I picked one up on accident.
What happened then?
If I throw that fucking knife, these guys are all gonna start doing damage to me. Like right now I'm invincible. And look, I have no life. I'm at 3 lives. I haven't continued. So I'm in a good spot. If I can kill these guys and not lose a life, I'm gonna have fucking 9 lives going into the last level. 3, and then if I die, I get 3 more. And if I die, I have another continue. So I really don't want to take any damage. When you kill one of these guys, they explode. Oh, and I fucking died. Of course I died. So now I don't even care. I can just slam on these guys. And when they explode, they will do damage to you. If you get them off screen, a good way to attack them is to just keep dash attacking. And we're gonna do that here. We're on the last level now.
Just might make it.
Yay.
Greenbird is complaining again.
Indeed. I'm getting summoned. Good night, boys.
Yeah, good night, Izzy. You can get me a beer.
I can I?
Wait, fuck. I'm trying to learn to be Izzy. I know you're busy, but after you put Esme to bed, would you mind grabbing me a beer?
There.
Thank you. You're a sweetheart. She likes when I do that, and I'm working on it. I'm not a very polite dude. I took one of these personality test things by your boy Jordan Peterson. It was like a relationship one where like your wife and you take it. And I scored in like less than 1 percentile in politeness. Like, I'm not polite. And then I scored higher in compassion, which makes sense because my job's in ultrasound tech. Like I take care of people. but I don't give a fuck about being polite. Oh, that test was cool too. Like Izzy took it, my wife, and it was like it said it said how she was and how I was. Holy shit, she brought me a beer. Thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
And it says like, hey, this is gonna be problems between you two, because your ass is so fucking rude and you're so impolite. Like you're gonna piss your wife off. And I didn't realize it. It was like, dude, if you just say nice words and make them come out of your mouth, your wife is going to be less pissed. So I've been trying to do that, and it actually works, guys. Like
Imagine that.
if you just say nice things, like, so right now, like, I was like, hey, can you go get me a fucking beer, woman? Like, she doesn't like it when you say that. But I didn't know, because I don't care, because I'm rude. But if you say something nice, like, hey, would you mind if you please got me a beer? Like, this, dude, you guys listening, like, most of you are more polite than me. And you're like, duh. But you got to realize there's people like me out there that are fucking impolite, and we actually really don't realize this shit.
I trained him well.
That's what the personality test was good, though. It tells you that, like, hey, wake up, like, people aren't like you and your spouse ain't like you, and it like categorizes like how you guys are different. Like another thing it said that like I was hella intellectual and that she was more domestic, so it was like,
No, it actually said I wasn't intellectual.
yeah,
which is hilarious.
and it was
but
like, it was saying that you need to try and take an interest in like the shit I read, and I need to try and take an interest in like the domestic stuff you do.
yes, you should.
Which is true. Oh, this elevator section is cool, guys. Like I was saying, if you get against the wall, you can loop them and throw guys like this. But if there's a bunch of popcorn enemies on the screen with Max, like these guys, you don't have time. Like you'll grab somebody and then someone else will hit you right away. So if somebody's gonna hit you, you have to just special. But what I'm gonna try and do here is get against the corner, and then just, if I can grab them right away, I'm gonna throw them. And if I can't grab them, I'm gonna special. And that's it. That's all you got. And you're gonna take damage. You're gonna lose a few lives in this section. But look, I grabbed her. Boom! If you do that fucking pile driver, that shit does super fucking heavy damage. And then anybody that comes in contact with that pile driver takes the same amount of damage. Like, I would love to just learn how to go through the whole game and pile drive motherfuckers like that. Huh, Izzy?
Yes, dear.
Hey, she says yes, dear, when she really ain't paying attention to me. But I gotta tell you, it's nicer than hearing something
What?
else. So
What?
thank you. Thank you for giving me a
Exactly.
yes, dear.
You're welcome.
I tried to grab that kickboxer right as he fell. I knew he was gonna fall right there. I ain't a pro at this game, guys. I'm still working on it. I'm basically done doing 1 credit clears on this as a solo player, but I actually do want to work on playing with other people. There's other guys online. Like, I just got a mania clear with somebody and someone else was watching, and I was embarrassed because we did such a dirty clear. And the other guy was like, yeah, sorry about the clear. Fucking Wriggle played with me and he sucks ballsack. And I was like, fuck, I do suck ballsack.
Not literally, actually.
No, I don't. I can't reach my own balls. I tried. They're too far away. But, I mean, hey, so what you want to do right here, I got lucky. Like, he's on the bottom of the screen, so I can do this cheeser tack right here. But if he was in the middle, this technique wouldn't work. So you got to be able to use other strats on him. This guy's pretty cool to fight right here. Homeboy standing there with his arms crossed. I think his name is Big. So what you want to do on B's knees is you walk away from him, and then he jumps and he attacks you. Like that, and then you can slam him. But if you're not at... Oh, his name's Shiva. Well, I was close. So what...
That's a weird name for a guy.
Shiva?
Yeah.
I think Shiva means like the fucking harbinger of death.
It's an Indian goddess name as far as I know. I think it's a goddess.
This dude right here, what you want to do is stay on one side and get him to shoot his gun. I should be just doing my super cancel through the gun there. And then you can slam him like that. I kind of fuck up this okay, when he's like that, you can grab him. But it is kind of tricky. Like you saw, I got shot right there. He's on the other side. When he's on the other side, when he's shooting, you should just special. She doesn't know what special means.
I don't. He's now entered into a foreign language, but that's okay.
What do you think special means?
I have no idea. I'm not even going to venture a guess.
Special is like an attack you do that makes you special.
That could mean so many things.
Hey, my daughter is starting to talk shit on me. She said, Dad used that word twice. He used the word to define a word. Hey, are you talking smack, Esme? Holy smokes. My daughter's awake. What time is it?
1:30-ish.
Okay, I just beat the game. I got two women flexing on me. I'm going to go tell my daughter what it is.
Yeah, right.
She fucking respect the man in the house, and so does my wife.
Yes, dear.
You hear that? I got one of them trained. I got to go flex on the other one.
Yeah, right.
So watch this play out. I got to say the music at the end here is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, we're going to check out here, guys, and enjoy the music. I'm popping off here because this was the first time I got a clear on this game. And say bye to the boys.
Goodbye, boys.
Oh, shit. Rig. There we go. Yeah! Fuck. Oh, man. Fucking done with this game. Whoa. Street Fighter 3. Third Strike is next.
Sega, bitch.